Who the hell is this guy? What's he want? Where's he come from? After every soldier I have with him and he kicks their ass. Outman. Outgunned. And he walks away clean. With my money. Now what are y'all gonna do about that?
Turn us loose, Tuna.
Let us do what we do.
What's up, everybody? We are now live for yet another episode number 44 of Rip and the Silverback. As you can see, I'm back upstairs feeling good. Don't have my other camera. Lighting's also not set up, so we got some different lighting, but everything seems to be working out for us today. Of course, joined by my co-host, Silverback himself. Man, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? We're up against the clock today, so hi.
Yeah, hi, hello. Let's move on. No, I appreciate you, man. As always, just running through some of these real quick. If I can share my screen, as you guys saw before, Young Isom statue by Iron Studios is up for sale. You can go grab that. We almost have sold 125 statues, so we are doing great with that, as well as the Horseman. Shout out Chuck Dixon. We actually just had him here not too long ago. Over 11,000 books have been sold, closing in on $675,000 in total sales. Those stonks continue to rise, man. So thanks,
Mitigated disaster.
I know, right? Failure, I guess.
Shut the company down.
Shut it down. Somehow,
down.
That selling that many books, we just can't last.
Sheridan sold more than that.
I know, right? That's what so they tell me. Shout out. Elton John, for sure. We got you early in the show today, so big shout out to y'all. Shut it down with all the AIDS stuff, though. Seriously, guys, thank you guys for the support. Couple of things that I want to mention just really quick. If you go to our store, you will see a brand new poster that is going to be limited in edition. It's right there. Full stamp. Would have a special full stamp on it. It'll say like Halloween reverse stuff. You can go grab that right now. It's only $25. First horizontal poster that we've done. Of course, Kanan White gearing ourselves for the highly anticipated Blood Ruth comic, which will be dropping very, very soon. Sale ends on November the 1st. So go grab those if you have not already. If you want to get those with your Horseman items, you can. But we're going to start shipping those very, very soon. And I believe by the latter half of next week. So those start going out pretty quickly. So get that Halloween edition, a special full stamp there, because it's live there for you. All right. So we got a few different topics that I want to cover today. Some things that I missed out on. I've been busy with work for sure. But I guess we can start with let's start with this, because I'm very, very intrigued, and I would love to get your thoughts on this as well, considering kind of where we're at with gaming in general, right? Apparently, it's in a very interesting spot, which also includes. I mean, look, we can talk about the American companies all we want. I mean, to be fair, some would make the argument that some of the Japanese companies have struggled because of the American or Westernized more influence, and that perhaps may be true. But Bandai Namco is cutting a bunch of jobs. If you guys do not know or have not heard about this, and this is pretty intriguing. Of course, coming from Bloomberg, Bandai Namco Holdings is cutting its workforce after canceling several titles in the latest sign that rising costs and plateauing demand are depressing the gaming industry's bottom lines. Tokyo-based company is taking a traditionally Japanese approach to reducing staff by sending workers to rooms where they are given nothing to do but putting pressure on them to leave voluntarily. There has to be something like, what, can they not fire them? Like, there must be something. I don't look. It's not like I'm familiar with Japanese. That's crazy, by the way. I'm not. I don't understand Japanese law, so that must be something like they can't can them. So it's like, okay, we're gonna put you in this condition and have you sit in basically a wall, maybe put on a straitjacket or something, and you're gonna want to quit after it, because that's a little interesting that they're forcing them or trying to. Obviously, I mean, that can also apply to American companies as well, in certain states with actually firing someone versus them leaving voluntarily and the tax benefits that are associated with that. Since April, affiliate Bandai Namco Studios has moved about 200 of its roughly 1,300 employees to such rooms, and 100 have, or nearly 100 have resigned. So the other 100 is like, nah, I'm sticking this shit out. Send more. Said the people asking not to be named, discussing private information. More are expected to leave in the coming months. These are called expulsion rooms, sometimes used by Japanese corporations in the country with some of the world's strictest labor protection laws. So that's what it is, right? Employees are typically given no work-related task, but are left with the knowledge that their performance will give managers ammunition to cut severance. So yeah, that's all this is. It's just legal stuff pertaining to tax and severance and all that. Many employees use their time in such rooms to look for other jobs. The company's share slid as much as 1.2% in Tokyo Wednesday, but Namco said its goal is to not push employees out of the company. Well, what's the point of the then?
Well, that's bollocks.
Our decisions to discontinue games are based on comprehensive assessments of the situation. Some employees may need to wait a certain amount of time before they are assigned the next project. Oh, so they don't have nothing for you to do. But we move forward with assignments as new projects emerge. Representative of Bandai Namco.
How can Bandai Namco not have any projects on the go? This is so right. Just imagine what you could do with the Soul Calibur franchise alone. Never mind put out a great, sexy Soul Calibur fighter. People would eat that up. They always do. You've got Sword Art Online, massive franchise there. You've got they publish the Dark Souls games, don't they? FromSoft make them.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're correct. I think you're correct.
Yes,
they publish them. Yeah. I think you're correct.
So,
yes.
So they publish the Dark Souls games as well. Okay, that's
and they just had, unless I thought, well, unless maybe this was overstated, but with Sparking Zero, right? That apparently was this massive hit. Right now, I haven't seen anything regarding the actual numbers, but at least people that are playing it are loving it. So I'm not sure.
That aren't they the company also behind Unknown 9 Awakening, which is a Sweet Baby?
Yes, that is correct.
Hasn't Sweet Baby Inc. got a lot to do with that game as well?
Yes, they are behind Unknown.
What
Awakening.
A shocker!
They are
shocker.
They are behind. That is very true.
That is insane. That is
I don't really
insane.
know.
You've got One Piece, haven't they? Not One Piece as well.
They have a lot, dude. So I'm not sure where Tekken as well, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So I'm not sure where the lack of projects are coming from, but either way, they're cutting staff, which again, I don't know if this speaks to and I guess that's what I wanted to talk about, because I don't know if this is speaking to the entire industry, an industry-wide problem, right? When even the ones that, because you expect some of these other companies that have made these adjustments to have the struggles that they're having, but
hack as well. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that also. Yeah, but I would, and if I'm wrong on this, maybe people that have, I guess, a little more internal knowledge on the situation know something that I don't know. But from what I understand, Bandai, at least we were under the impression that they are doing better of the companies per se. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure where this is coming from that they're having to cut back on all these jobs because there are, I guess, issues. So are we dealing with, and I guess that's a question for the chat, as a question for Az, are we really on the brink of a like a crash?
Yeah.
Like another video game crash?
Well, yeah, I mean, the West is already crashing. It's in flames. The Western gaming industry is in absolute flames right now, because I did a video a couple of days back on my channel about ESG DIE is the killer of merit, and I did this example where if you're hiring 20 people based off merit, right? Now, that 20 people could be 20 white guys, could be 20 black guys, could be 20 fucking trans people. It doesn't matter. If you've got 20 people who are there based off merit, your company is going to do the best that it possibly can, right? You're giving your company the best chance that you can.
Right.
But we know, if we can just cut the bullshit out, we know that inclusion means non-white. We need diversity means non-white, right?
Particularly non-white men.
Yeah. Typically white men. So if you's like, okay, we've got too many white guys at our company, you create terms like toxic work culture, frat boy culture. You start to create all these fucking buzz terms in these companies, and then you say we need to diversify our company by diversify less white people, even if they're there on merit. Less white people. The people who are there know what they're doing. That's why the company's been fucking successful in the first place. And then they go, right, so we need to get rid of some of these, or we need to, if we're increasing, we need to add diversity. And if you're doing it based off DIE and ESG, and the top 5 people on your resumes are all white dudes, they're the top qualified, you got to immediately push them to one side to get to the diversity that you want.
Right.
Immediately, you've harmed your company. You've harmed it right there. And then the more people that come in based off that system, the more good people get either pushed out, left behind, or end up taking the slack within the company and getting sick and tired of it. Yeah. Why should I increase my fucking workload? Why should I be the one who's having to do more work because this person isn't trained enough? They're having to go through more training. They're having to go. They don't pick up the systems well enough to bring in fucking terrible ideas, or they're not programming correctly. They're making mistakes. We're having to correct those. Timescales get. Why should I do that? I'll go off and either start my own fucking company, or join another startup, or join a company that doesn't have this ethos at that time. And then they'll go and they'll be replaced by more inclusion and diversity. So the company just gets worse and worse and worse until we see what we see right now is just pictures of fucking pink-haired, white, fat fucking women at video game companies going, oh my God, just made a fucking game, C's. Oh my God, C's, look. So finally, somebody that represents me. It's like, oh, just fuck off. That's where we are in the West. They're all fucking doing it, and they're all doing it proud. And so your company, instead of focusing on making good games, is there creating, we need to create a division for the fucking queer people. We need to create a division for the blacks against white gamers league. We have to create a division for the neo-divergent fucking Ramptons who are working within our company. And so resources get pushed. All these factions start. It just creates division upon division. There's a victim culture narrative which now devolves into your company. Some people are walking on eggshells. They're getting fucking spoken to and disciplined in Ubisoft for putting exclamation points, which are aggressive, into emails, or not putting affirming emojis into emails. That's your company. Congratulations. That's your company. So what do you produce? Well, you produce Ubisoft games. That's what happens when you go down that route. Ubisoft haven't produced anything fucking good in 10 years. It's just same old fucking crap over and over again. Different settings, same crap. No development. Comes out rushed, comes out unpolished, comes out bugged. They fix it in post. They know that. They've even said that. We fix these things in post now. Live service, monetize people through the wazoo. You drive off customers left, right, and center. That's the Western gaming industry right now. Proudly coming out. Support ESG. The fucking Halo. Sorry, I'm off on a fucking tangent here. I'm off on one. Fucking
it's all good. It's all good.
Fucking cook.
Yeah, let's go.
Then you get the new Halo fucking bitch that comes in, right? What's she got on her LinkedIn? Fucking Yahtzee pride flag there for all to see. What's that got to do with fucking Halo?
Nothing.
What's that got to do with 343? What's that got to do with Halo Studios? Nothing. Fuck all. Nothing. It's a narcissistic fucking signal to all out there. Look at me. I'm a fucking minority. I'm a victim. Don't come at me. I am here purely on no merit whatsoever. I've got no fucking body of work behind me. I've got no history of success behind me, but I've got a fucking Yahtzee pride flag, so hire me, and I'm also black. So this is where the Western fucking gaming industry has now got themselves, right?
Yeah.
And so people see that, they see who's been hired, and then they criticize it based off numerous factors, which are all, I think, perfectly valid. The fact that she's signaling, the fact that she's not got a body of work to prove where she's come from, the fact that she does come from a high ESG, DIE fucking bullshit history.
Yeah, and it's all about diversity and all this other fake job that she's been.
What does she do? I'm a victim. I'm being attacked. That's what they want.
Yeah.
You are fucking killing your companies with these fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And you're doing it. You're doing it gladly, happily. You're inviting them in. So Ubisoft, EA, CD Projekt Red. Oh, we hire on merit and merit alone. Well, your fucking website doesn't say so.
Sure does. It actually says
website says nothing. This video says this. This fucking website says ESG. This is DIE. This is DIE award. This is we're pushing more DIE. What the fuck? You're talking fucking bullshit, mate.
Yeah.
You're not hiring on fucking merit. None of you are.
Yeah.
You're living in a fucking culture of fear that if you don't fucking toe the line, if you don't do the stunning and brave, if it's all because of ESG loans, if it's because of BlackRock, if it's because of Vanguard, if it's because you're paranoid that your stock price is going to be fucking plummeted, well, go fucking private then. Go fucking private then.
Yeah.
If that's what you're worried about, fund shit yourself. If that's what you're concerned about, if you're worried about that sort of business. But they're doing it. The Western gaming industry is fucking burning to the ground.
Yeah. But to echo that sentiment, I mean, again, what we're seeing with the adjustments that are being made by even the Japanese companies that have, more or less some of it have invited at least that influence that's there, that Western influence. That unfortunately has impacted their own businesses. We know what's happened with Square Enix. I think that's probably the most, if not a prime example of that. That's that. And again, we're seeing that even some of the better companies that we think, at least financially, how you feel about the games, that's neither here nor there. At least financially, we assumed that Bandai Namco was never in trouble. Yet here we are with them talking about ending X amount of jobs. So they're clearly having some sort of issues. And again, is it an industry-wide thing? And I think it's all a domino, right? It's like one issue leads into another, and it always catches up, right? It's not one of those things that you see happens immediately, right? We've been dealing with some of this DIE crap for at least this heavy push has been almost a decade, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost like a lagging indicator. It just takes a little bit for it to get to where it's at now, to where, yeah, you have the ones that you expect, consequences of their own actions. Ubisoft's, you kind of anticipate that, but then you have the Bandai Namco's and what's happening with them. And so it's almost creating like an industry-wide problem. And that's not to say that, because you brought up some other stuff, like you brought up some of the monetization efforts. Like it's multiple aspects of that are impacting it. But to act like DIE and that heavy push is just completely like, and that's what that's what they're gonna do, right? Let's assume that we do get another crash, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know they're gonna point to everything else. They're gonna say that there's all these financial woes because of this, and that. Mainstream wise, they wouldn't dare mention the push for hiring people based on everything except whether or not they can produce a solid video game.
Oh, good news. Gamers don't give a fuck.
True.
Yeah. Gamers don't give a fuck about your excuses, right?
Yeah.
Gamers aren't going to start going, oh my God, do you know what? I need to mortgage my house so I can raise some funds to keep billion-dollar corporation going that's fucked itself in the ass. Yeah. They'll go, oh, well, never mind. It was a nice run. Right. Where can I put my money next? Which company is actually doing shit that I like? Look at games which have succeeded. Look at Western games which have succeeded. Fucking Space Marine 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
That game did phenomenally well. Helldivers 2 did phenomenally well. Why? Because they just concentrated on what they should concentrate on.
Mm-hmm.
Fun gameplay, good gameplay. Just get the gamer involved in the world, immersed in the world. And Space Marine 2 was the most fucking Warhammer 40k game you could possibly imagine. You know, if you said to people, what's your ideal, your dream 40k game if you were like a Space Marine, I don't think they could do something too different to what Space Marine 2 did. In terms of gameplay, in terms of story, in terms of atmosphere, everything. It just hit all the beats. What are all these fucking games that are failing? All these games that are failing miserably, not getting the pre-orders that they want, they're all fucking absolutely rooted in virtue signaling. You know, oh, we're going to have Assassin's Creed Shadows. Great fucking racist name, you fucking idiots. You know, Assassin's Creed Shadows with a black guy.
Here in a bit, yeah.
There was another thing. What was I looking at the other day? There was I was going through characters in the game, and then they had a black character, and they called it Shade. And I'm just like, are you guys? You know, it's just like, I can't fucking mock you. You're doing it better than I fucking could.
That's pretty good.
I told you, this game should have been Assassin's Creed something else, but something I can't personally say, because that's essentially what it was to them.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
The biggest, easiest thing they could do, Assassin's Creed game in feudal Japan, have a Japanese male, have a Japanese female. There we go. Boom. If they had a white guy instead of a Japanese male, there'd be just as much outrage.
Yeah, because it'd be like, well, they're stupid.
Yeah, because it'd be fucking dumb.
Yeah,
it'd be fucking dumb. So you got these home runs that are setting up for them, and they're just not taking it. They're going, fucking, I'm just gonna bunt it and not even walk to first base. Yeah. I'm gonna bunt it and walk to the fucking
dugout.
That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm done. And just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? These are so fucking easy to nail. Dragon Age Veilguard. You know, it's looking like a disaster.
2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks.
Nobody seems to be pre-ordering it. Nobody's fucking interested in it. There's no buzz about it. The only conversation that's revolving around it is the fucking laughable look of the characters now. Things like the Canary, the top scars, the absolute fucking non-binary pronouns. Just fuck off. Do you know it's not inclusive because it's like, oh yeah, but people need options. They need customization options. These are customization options. They're not. They're ideological decisions.
Facts. Otherwise, you have like a scar and you could put the bitch wherever you want it to, like, right? Yeah. You wouldn't call it in, it'd be like scars, right? And games have had that. And if you want to put it there, yeah, you could do that dumb shit. But that's not what you did. You specifically put top scars to sort of be inclusive, right?
It's an option. It's an option,
yeah, right?
It's not. Right. It's not as if it's in the scars section and
and you move it around. No, it's a specific option. Yeah, correct. It was put there to signal. It was put there to signal.
Non-fucking binary.
Yeah.
Do you know? And I had a thing I was thinking about the other day, and I'm kind of cooking on making a video about this, but fuck it, I'm just going to say it here now, right? When you're playing a video game, like a survival or post-apocalyptic video game, what kind of like two of the biggest things that you need when you're searching for stuff in the world? What are two of the biggest things which make you go, fuck yeah, okay? Food and water.
Yeah.
right? Because your character needs to stay alive. So when you find food, you're just like, oh, great. Okay, great. You know, my hunger bar, I can keep refreshing that. My thirst bar, I can keep refreshing that. Because survival games, the plan is to survive, right? The plan is that you got to fucking live. So when you have a game like that, do you know what, Neil Cuckman? Seattle doesn't become a trans utopia 20 fucking years into an apocalypse. Yeah? You don't get some little fucking bint going, oh my God, I left my tribe because my mom didn't fucking want me to be a guy when I was actually a biological female, and then have fucking Abby fucking Smash go, oh yes, do you know what? Even though I just caved the guy's head in with a fucking golf club, I respect your decision on your gender. Fucking, she said, what the fuck are you talking about, you fucking idiot? You don't know whether or not you're going to live, you're going to fucking die, whether or not you're going to put food in your fucking belly, whether or not you're going to get round up, put in a cage, and fucking used as a slave, a sex slave for some fucking warlord, which is tearing through, ripping everything up. You think this is the fucking story? Are you fucking nuts? Because these are ideological decisions. They're not fucking logical decisions. They're not legitimate story ideas. These are made up by fucking a bunch of Californian twats who have lived in a fucking bubble, who've been sucking all of this shit up now for fucking 10, 12 years. They all think the same. They all act the fucking same. They all got the same fucking ideas. They all got to push this ideology. And of course, they're right. In their eyes, they're right. You need this. You need to have this. This is how you should be thinking. You might have top scars in Veilguard, but you can't have a nice ass and nice tits. No, sir. That's not allowed, because if you got nice ass and nice tits, do you know what? Those straight fucking men might like it. They might like to have a female like that. I mean, fuck all the women who want to play the game that have got nice asses and nice tits and want a fucking representation of their character that they can't have because you're too fucking rude. But you can have top scars. You can say non-binary. You can put all this bollocks in this fucking world of magic and mayhem and mystery. What are you going to do? Excuse me? They have the villain. You can't have the villain be a bad guy. You know what the villain would call you, Eric? If they're a real villain? Yeah. They'd call you some fucking juicy words.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been in the COD lobbies.
Exactly.
For sure. That's
exactly. You've seen how they fucking work.
Yeah.
Go on to fucking chat roulette or something.
Yeah.
Hi. You're gonna find some fucking fruity times out there.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays we've got our villains go, oh no, I respect your fucking pronouns, Or I want they're fucking laughing at these fucking idiots. They'd be fucking absolutely mocking them into the ground.
Yeah.
But you can't have that. No, it's about choosing the ideologies and stuff. And everybody's got to oh my God, I totally respect it. It's absolute nonsense that we're dealing with. And this is what happens when you get rid of merit. This is what happens when you allow your company to be overrun with DIE, ESG, single-minded ideologies. Doesn't matter which way it goes, left or right. Single-minded ideologies ruin everything. There's just as much idiocy from the right as there is from the left in terms of fucking drama llama. Oh my God, look, this devil worshipping game. It's not a fucking devil worshipping game. It's a game that's got lore and history and it's rooted in this, therefore it's got this kind of iconography or whatnot. They're just as fucking bad as each other. Gamers just want fucking fun games. We used to get them all the fucking time. But now not only can we not have a fun game, but we can't just buy a fucking game and play it hardly anymore because they're just rampant with microtransactions. Yeah,
that's what I said. It's other problems too.
Buying quests, season fucking passes, all this fucking bollocks.
Mundane experiences, fucking bullshit, difficult, fake,
blah, blah.
Accessibility obsession, dumbing down these fucking games. It's a whole lot of problems, for sure, right? That all, you combine them with their forces combined, you get a potential crash. And speaking of, I mean, this article, as I was finishing up, it says staff cuts reported by Bloomberg News show a sector that faces higher development costs, gamers' limited attention spans for new games, and an expected game revenue drop in Japan this year. This extends to peers such as Sony, which canceled its Concord title that was reported to have cost $400 million, as well as Square Enix, brought them up, which like Namco, Bandai, Namco, incurred hundreds of millions of dollars in write-downs from the last year's from cancellation. So again, it's a issue that seems to be industry-wide. And I don't know if they're going to be what it's going to look like when they start to move in the right direction. Is it going to take? Because definitely when you're dealing with banks, those investments are going to start coming to roost or not. I guess actually not, because these projects are either getting canceled, they're being written off, and I don't know what's going to be the conclusion. But it does take a little bit for us to get to this point. I don't know what in 2024, 2025, what a crash is actually going to look like. Is it going to mean some of these mega corporations kind of having to slim down, going away? Does that mean a rise of the independents, which I guess would be the more preferable outcome? I would love, but I guess their spending habits aren't matching up with what they're bringing in revenue, and I guess that's kind of the common theme right now. And I don't think that this would be a significant problem, because this has been my position on gaming for a very long time. To me, I look at that because there's so much money floating around gaming in general, right? It has grown. It has surpassed pretty much everything as far as it is the number one kind of form of entertainment. It's no longer movies or TV or film anymore. It's gaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like with all this money that's being thrown out there, and especially when you're dealing with these mega corporations that have these massive teams, we should be getting, and I'm just using this logically, the most next gen, groundbreaking, pushing of the envelope experiences in gaming that we ever had. But nobody seems to have that feeling at all, because I don't think it's there. I can remember that, the next gen, as an example, it's funny, we talk about CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
And I already know that there's going to be people in the chat that say, oh, well, Cyberpunk is playable now. It's solid, because in comparison to how it was at launch. I understand all that, and that may be true. Okay, I clocked several hours. One of my most viewed videos of all times is the review that I did for Cyberpunk, right? So I know it. I know the game through and through, but even that, hell, it's not even, especially that still was not the game that we were sold on at all. It was not this sort of life simulator, like sort of RPG that we were promised. It didn't sort of push the envelope as far as like the open world kind of RPG. If you're putting that in a genre, it didn't do that at all. So while I guess they kind of look a little better, right? Some of the games in comparison to years past, but as far as the gaming experiences, we're not getting that next big thing, despite all the money floating around there, right? So where's the money going, I guess, is the golden question. And Ask went on his rant not too long ago, and that's where it is going. It's not going to get guys that are in there that are forward thinking to do something that is, again, when I talk about next gen experience, I'm saying something that is going to set a trend for the industry itself to follow, right? That is new, that we hadn't necessarily seen. It's been a while since we got that. Is it going to be the new GTA? I don't know, maybe, potentially, but we have not got that at all. And I think a lot of that has to do with where the focus is from the company perspective, as far as who they're bringing in to do their games. And some of it's DIE, some of it may be in some how they package it, whether it be in their monetization, whether it be with this obsession over accessibility, which I'm not talking about colorblind settings. I'm talking about trying to make every game be playable by every fucking human being on the planet, which makes for a mundane experience, right? You can't possibly make something that is going to be unique if you're trying to make it for everybody, if that makes sense. So yeah, that we'll see how it looks, but it's starting to feel, because this was breaking news, and I was like, okay, I didn't know Namco was even in trouble like that. But if they're in trouble, then we know that some of these other companies are in worse shape as well, or in bad shape as well. So are we at the beginning stages of what's going to be a crash?
I mean, right. Take Square Enix for a moment, okay? They underperformed on sales on Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. What was probably the biggest reason behind that? The biggest reason was probably because they were specific to certain, they're specific to the PlayStation 5. Okay, so they didn't. Final Fantasy 16 is now out on the PC, but it's just come out on the PC. So you're cutting off your PC marketplace, you're cutting off your Xbox marketplace. Square Enix are beginning to understand that. They invested in the West, it fucked them in the ass.
It did. It backfired tremendously.
Absolutely fucked them to the degree that they went, fuck you all, dumped the companies, left the fucking companies in the West to focus on the right. You look at something like Capcom. Capcom have been remaking the Resident Evil games. They've been systematically remaking Resident Evil 1 throughout the course of years. Resident Evil 2 remake, 2019. Resident Evil 3 remake. Resident Evil 4 remake. 2 and 4 I thought were fantastic. 3, yeah, not as good as the others, but still fun to play. So they've been phenomenal successes for Capcom. Phenomenal successes. You got Square Enix. What the fuck have they been doing with Parasite Eve? It's a game that's absolutely front and center, a one that plays like Resident Evil, has the same sort of vibe as Resident Evil. Where the hell is the remake? Like a Parasite Eve remake or just a Parasite Eve next generation game? People would I think that'd be a massive popular thing.
True.
I can't remember anything since Third Birthday on the PSP for something like that.
That's a throwback.
And that's a big throwback. That's a massive throwback to Parasite Eve. So you got to kind of be like, why? Okay, well, they're doing well with Final Fantasy 14. They have been doing well with Final Fantasy 14 online, but they gotta develop new. You got to develop new franchises as well. Or if franchises have been on the shelf for a long time, like Parasite Eve,
it might as well be new. Shit,
exactly.
As long as it's been on the shelf.
Because it'd be coming back as a modern game, not current, not modern,
game.
Modern in terms of gameplay, movement, graphically, etc., all that kind of stuff. Namco, like we've just gone through, they have so many great franchises that they could play with, particularly in the isekai marketplace, Sword Art Online, Dot Hack. Two massive isekai brands. That haven't really done they've done some Sword Art Online games over the years, but nothing's really happened with Dot Hack either, and the popularity of that. So maybe even this Silent Hill remake, which came out from Konami are a fucking bunch of assholes, right? But at least the Silent Hill 2 remake game was good. I don't think it was great. I don't think it went above and beyond. It definitely sacrificed a lot in terms of psychological horror. Didn't think it was scary, but it did a lot right. There were some good things that it did right, and at least it was just like, hey, do you know what? I'm buying a game and I'm playing a game. I'm not looking through the season pass. I'm not going through the fucking microtransactions. I'm not saying, oh, you can now buy this quest that we cut out from the original game to sell back to after launch. At least I was like, okay, I paid my money. I played the game. I got through it. I enjoyed it for the most part. There were some areas that it failed on big time, in my opinion, but at least it felt like a game. Let's go back to that. But now we're looking at a load of companies, particularly AAA companies. This is the next game we're going to make. First question asked in the boardroom: how do we monetize it? How do we monetize it?
Second, what's the percentage of black people that we have in it?
Well, it's just why games like Assassin's Creed shouldn't be fucking monetized past buying it.
Yeah, it's not online. It's not. Yeah.
It's just a fucking game. Make it what it is. A single player game. This is your price. Boom. Buy. Don't buy. But this is what we need to return back to. The nickel and diming that they took us through in the 2010s. Particularly that went through all many different revisions through loot boxes and just all the microtransaction elements. We've got to the point now where they want to create a AAA game with mobile phone monetization schemes. That's what they want. They're wanting you to not spend $70 on the game. They're wanting you to spend $1,000 on the fucking game over the course of the year.
And again, I think the most important context is like these are like not skins. We're talking like pay to win. We're talking like pay to play. Like as far as like, on games you've already played, we're talking about these microtransactions having to do with like, okay, certain things are gated in the game. In order to, get there, you have to pay that, even if you've already paid money, which again, especially for single player experiences, that makes no fucking sense.
What's Starfield single player game, right? Disaster.
Yeah.
An absolute fucking disaster for Bethesda. And what's it doing? It's just been out over a year. They have quests that you can buy. Quests that you could fucking buy. I'd be embarrassed to sell that with the way that my game had been. Just put them in the fucking game. And you buy these quests, and then at the end of it, you get like a gun as a reward. Some of these guns are fucking broken. They don't even work. Yeah. They haven't even been fixed. And then they go and dump out this new expansion for $30 fucking dollars, which takes about 6 hours to finish.
Which is
about 8 hours if you do the side quests.
That's insane.
That's
nothing.
What's the feedback on it?
Nothing.
The feedback on it is it's shit.
Yeah.
That's what it's got mostly negative on Steam. Most people have said this year Starfield hardcores that are playing it.
That's fucking crazy.
And so it's just like how I would just be embarrassed as a company. I'd be fucking ashamed to even think about trying to charge people for these quests on a game which failed miserably. But if your idea in your head is, well, we've got to recoup the losses on this shit game, maybe you shouldn't put out a shit game in the first place.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and just speaking of, since we were talking about it, there's a couple of things that I want to make sure we at least cover on Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft. If you guys haven't checked this out, there's a design of a statue that is being removed because it's insensitive.
It's retarded. It's absolutely fucking retarded. I mean, right.
So Pure Arts is going to rework it, to be fair. So I guess they will come out with another one.
Yeah, they'll come out with another one. They'll remove the half Torii gate. There's sort of monuments in Japan which stand the testament of time to the atomic bomb dropping, right? The half Torii gate in Nagasaki is one of them. In Hiroshima, they have that building which never got fully knocked down, and they've left it in that state, and it just stands as monuments to the Japanese people, regardless of, there's been a lot of water under the bridge since Second World War now. Okay, Japan isn't viewed the way that it was viewed back in those days. We all look, depending on which country's been through which wars, we all have our monuments that we look at, and they serve as inspiration to the people of those countries. So when you think, hi, we're going to make an Assassin's Creed game where we're going to completely fake the origin of Yusake, we're going to pretend we're going to essentially pay for people to make lies up about how this guy actually existed in history and what he truly meant, because we want to put a Stunning and Brave as the lead character instead of just having a fucking brain cell and putting a Japanese male protagonist and a female protagonist in the game. Then what we're going to do is we're going to stick them next to, we're going to show videos of them destroying Japanese fucking good people's houses and businesses, and it's just like the tone deafness here is insane.
I think that's more of the if there is to be a problem, that's it. It's everything looking at that collectively. You have to look at that collectively. Of the game's not off to a good start. The concept itself was, nobody should have greenlit it, but they did. It's out there in the ether. They have delayed it for various reasons. And you couple that with something like this, then people are, if they were more.
How do you not catch this?
Well, that's the thing. I think that they are operating as if, and maybe their plan was the plan from the get-go, and they had no ability to pivot, or they didn't think about pivot because they didn't think they would have had to. I think that's what you're dealing with here, is that they had an original plan. And that plan, again, I understand as that me and you may look at this and say, okay, you doing this game, let's fucking retarded. right?
Dude, it's like me making a fucking Division game in New York and having one of the fucking Twin Towers as the fucking symbol.
Well, here's the thing, though. I think that it would have been a lot more digestible if they hadn't got to the part or gotten off to the wrong foot, right? So the fact that you made this game, which was already distasteful to that geographical area in the first place, right? I think leads to this. So that's not to say that this wouldn't maybe have been a problem if they knocked it out the park with everything else. But I know people wouldn't be dwelling on it as much if it was, as far as its culture, Japanese and their culture, and the Japanese people actually being far better as far as receptive to this actual game because they made it in a tasteful way. But that's not what you're dealing with. So of course, anything
you're dealing with an echo chamber.
Yeah, and that's the problem. And why I think that, well, yeah, it in hindsight for sure, it's like this is dumb as fuck. Now, if they had two people that were in there that were like, okay, guys, this shit is stupid. We never even know about this.
Yeah, because they're not hiring people that know Japanese history.
I don't think they're hiring people that know shit.
No, they're paying people to say this is what happened in Japan. If they want to go head to head with the the white fucking toxic gamers that they profess is the only people that ever complain about this shit. If they want to try and go head to head with them, congratulations. You're a typical Western gaming developer with your fucking head up your ass. But this is the whole of the fucking Japanese people. In the fucking country of Japan has been in uproar about this shit.
Yeah, they've rejected it.
And then they just go bury their head in the fucking sand as if they know better than the fucking country of Japan.
I think it's more of that they had a plan and they were never going to deviate with it because they did not consider. And again, it sounds, I know, be it me and you and I, the chat, they're going to be like this. They would have had to consider it, right? You got to understand when you're dealing with the echo chamber that they're dealing with. No, they didn't. I don't think they did. I think that they were stupid enough to put this shit out there and they thought that it was going to be well received, right? And they built their plan, everything. We're talking statues, all this stuff, everything was built around that idea. And so they don't have an ability to pivot because they were already committed. And so you're going to get what you're going to get, right? Now this delay, I don't know what the fuck are they going to do, but me personally, what I pick up, you are going to get what you're going to get. And a lot of that stems from they got off to the wrong foot. Like we should have never known about this. If they had people, it's funny, we talk about merit this whole entire time. If they had people that knew what the fuck they were doing, hell, if they had a couple of people that knew what the fuck they were doing, this game never sees the light of day, right? As far as at its premise right now, with Yasuke being a fucking core centerpiece, that never happens. We never hear about it. We never hear that as an idea that was floated around. If you add people that were in there, that never gets past the concept phase. When they're round table, right? Ubisoft or wherever the fuck, and they're like, what's going to be our next Assassin's Creed game? And someone says, hey, I was on Wikipedia the other day and there was some black guy that was there. Why don't we make him a lead character and a samurai? We're going to have him fuck up all these Japanese people in Japan. That guy gets thrown out of the fucking window. I'm just there in Japan, so I'm assuming that they're fucking 45 feet high. And that motherfucker gets thrown out of that window and we never know about it, right? We never hear about it. It never sees the light of day. Unfortunately, you don't have that. They sat round table discussion, right? Or, they weren't in Japan. So that's probably the core reason why that did end up seeing the light of day. But you get what it is I'm saying. It never sees the light of day. They get fucking thrown out off the roof or whatever the fuck, and they move on about their business. Like, oh, yeah, that guy was stupid. Who brought that guy in? Fire that guy too. Whoever brought this fucker in, fire that guy too. Let's move on. Not what happened. Instead, what happened? Round table discussion. Somebody pitched the idea, and someone said, wow, that's a fantastic idea. The person next to them said, that's a great idea. Think about all the boxes that we're checking here. We'd be able to appeal to this. We'd get all these DIE points and all that. This is a fantastic idea. That's all they had. And so they greenlit it. They developed it. They built their marketing plans. They built their schemes. All that was centered around, we're going to put this shit out. This is our concept, and it's going to be well received. And that's why you get shit like this.
I don't, right. Something that I disagree on that with is that this is going to be well received. I don't think they care. I think they create it and they'll be like, this is what you're getting, whether you like it or not. Because I cannot believe that any sane person.
They're not saying no.
I know. We all know that. When you get stuck in an echo chamber, you can't be fucking sane. When you're painting your fucking hair and mutilating your body, you can't be fucking sane. Okay? We're not dealing with rational people. But I can't believe that the conversation never occurred that this is going to rub people up the wrong way. I think the outcome of that is good. Good. It's about fucking time. I think we get those sort of answers, but I think they know exactly what they were doing. I think they knew exactly how antagonistic they were being. What I don't think they knew is the reaction that it would get from Japan. That is the thing. I think they all expected this from the toxic white gamers who were going to come at them.
That's fair, yeah.
But I don't think they in any way, shape, or form had any idea of the backlash that they were going to have from the Japanese people and what that would have, what sort of effect that would have. And the effect that it had was it fucking crashed their stock price and it sent it into oblivion. And the only way that the stock price rose in recent times is when the rumor came out that they were going to fucking sell the company. That's the only time that the stock price has gone up in a substantial manner. It's just like, okay, right. The rumors come out. It looks like Ubisoft, there's a rumor going around that this company is going to be potentially up for sale. Tencent and Yves Guillemot are gonna work together to actually buy the company out. But look at things like, right, CD Projekt Red. Who's making The Witcher? Who's making The Witcher 1 remake?
Who is?
It's Rebel Wolves. It's not even. Do you know who Rebel Wolves are made up of? Ex CD Projekt Red staff that have left. When I was playing, because I played Witcher 3 a lot over the course of the years. When I play Witcher 3, I tend to get a guy who comes in. I call him Macy because I can't pronounce his Polish name, and he's okay with that. But a chap comes in called Macy. Macy worked on all the Witcher games. He worked on all the Witcher games. He no longer works at CD Projekt Red. And he tends to be there when I'm doing these streams, and he just kind of watches. And I think rightfully so. Enjoy somebody loving something that they had so much passion that they worked on. Because The Witcher 3 to me is the best game ever fucking made. That's my own personal opinion. These people who are making these fucking games, they don't give a shit. They're not interested in fucking making it. Dude, we've seen the picture of the dev team. It's 99.9% fucking give me the cheese because this is just crackers. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
We get Yasuke, main character. He goes into combat.
Gotta have hip hop. It's black, man. Come on.
Because that's what
that's what they were apparently.
Blacks do. That's what the blacks like. No. That's the type of music that they listen to.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's just like I admit defeat. I can't fucking mock you better than you're mocking yourselves. Yeah. I can't even do that. You're making yourselves look so fucking out of touch. It's unreal. And now they're getting back what they love to say themselves. They're getting back the fucking consequences of their actions.
Speaking of consequences, and maybe this helps Ubisoft because it is Western. There's some developing story right now that a bunch of Ubisoft France staff have walked.
Gone to strike.
Going on strike. I mean, I know
Yeah.
this was talked about that they were called to participate in this 3-day strike, and it does look like that has officially happened. Will y'all hear the story? This is the most Western shit ever, right? Will y'all? I'm not going to go through everything here because there's some other stuff that I want to discuss, but they walked the straw that broke the camel's back apparently was that they were told basically to get back to work, like in the office, and they said, "Fuck that." So
they wanted to keep fucking jerking it off at home. Yeah.
And so they said, "What do you mean we gotta work? Fuck off!
What do you mean we gotta come into an office and do a fucking hard day's work? Bullshit! I want to work at home with my TV, where I can pop out to the shop every 10 fucking minutes. Where I can flick my fucking bean to the heart's content because it's just fucking."
It's the most Western shit that I had heard, but
good,
man.
Good. Do you know what? Sack him all.
That's what to me, that's the efficient way to deal with it. It's like, okay, because you want to talk about the consequences of your action, right?
Yeah, boy.
You got to cut your losses, right? You have cultivated, or rather, you built this culture that's fucked, right? Internally, right? You got the wrong guys there for the wrong fucking reasons, right? Maybe this is your out. Like, all right, we gotta get it together. They kind of taking out trash for us, so fuck it, man. Let's start over, eject, and let's try to resolve this problem. But before we
seize the opportunity, carpe diem, seize the fucking day, get rid of them.
Exactly. Here's your opportunity. But as we move on, what we have to talk about, I'm gonna actually start it at around the 7-minute mark. I have Az's favorite person.
Oh God, I've got so many.
Kim Belair of Sweet Baby Inc. At the what is it?
Poor victim Kim
festival.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch some of this because she does address some of the conversation that's centered around Sweet Baby Inc. Okay. So I'm just gonna play it and we're gonna talk about it. It's gonna be that simple. That's gonna be the game for today.
Yummy.
So let's check it out.
So many different games is really, really unique. I think it's really cool. I think people will be excited about it and about our craft. So I decided to do a cheeky Google and see, like, hey, had anyone put that together? The Google went bad. I shouldn't have done it because rather than any praise or people going, wow, how did you do it? Or just, hey, a narrative development company. What does that mean? I'm really interested.
Yeah, I'm really
instead found by
just pause it for a second. I'm really interested to know why a game developer would need to hire a narrative team. Isn't that part of the game developing process in the first fucking place?
Yeah, no.
So all of this kind of roots back to it being one big fucking DIESG hustle every time, every single fucking time.
Yeah. Here we go.
4chan and the worst people on Twitter. And looking back, there was a funny element to
the
it where
forums are there. I didn't see that.
Am I there?
No, you're not there, but the forums are.
She doesn't know the first rule of the internet.
Oh man. So very interesting. This is just a bunch of shit. She's gonna explain it a bit. So.
Oh, okay.
People were kind of talking like, I've discovered a secret Canadian company. Like, these are the guys who did it. And the discovery that they had made was actually like our public facing website that we advertise our services on, and which you can go to right now if you'd like to collaborate with us or just learn more. It's not hidden. And if it is, it's
you have made some adjustments.
Kim, it is hidden now.
You have made some adjustments, Kim. So
massive adjustments.
Let's be clear there. You have made adjustments to your site. You've done it even in like sort of like, I won't say real time, as in like there's been 1 week where we've covered it, right? That 1 week where we went through everything, and then the next week it had like adjusted shit in it in certain language like removed. So it's not hidden, but you've hidden content in it for sure.
And now you've hidden all your fucking companies that you work with.
Yeah. There's been some adjustments there as well.
Because it sits at sweetbabyinc.com. But literally within a few hours of me seeing that first post, we were not only being accused of, forcing a black person into Alan Wake, which one is cool, but we didn't do.
No.
And
Okay.
also,
Whoa. There is a thing called circumstantial evidence. Okay. There's also another thing called a preponderance of evidence. Preponderance of evidence, of course, meaning that when something weighs, when it kind of weighs heavy in one area, then there's a preponderance of evidence that kind of point to something. Saga Anderson was white. She was in a live action advert for the return of Alan Wake 2. She was a white Scandinavian. Saga Anderson. That's basically calling a white guy Bill Smith.
No.
Saga Anderson, a Scandinavian, blonde, blue-eyed lady. Sweet Baby Inc. get involved in Alan Wake 2 with Remedy. Sweet Baby Inc. Kim Belair was talking in the Game Developer Conference in 2019 about how you need to make more characters that look like me. How you can say, hey, have you thought about putting a more diverse character here? Lo and behold, Saga Anderson, who's now the main protagonist of Alan Wake 2, not even fucking Alan Wake, suddenly is race changed to black. Why? Why would that be in the first place? Why? There's got to be a fucking conversation, because you don't just go, right, here's Saga, and then you go, wait a minute, she's just black? Oh, yeah, whatever. That's not how a conversation happens when you fundamentally change a character. So there had to be a conversation going around that. This is the narrative company. So I don't believe for one single solitary moment that Kim Belair and Sweet Baby Inc. didn't suggest for a minute that maybe I mean, why don't you change Saga to a black lady? Why? Because that's all that Sweet Baby Inc. have seemingly fucking done. What did they do? What was their contribution to God of War Ragnarok? To turn the white woman black. Turn the goddess black. That was their fucking whole addition. That's what she says. She keeps talking about it in a 2019 game of development. I need to see more characters like me. We need to see more representation from people like me. Character creation screens can't do that. They're not good enough. We need more people that look like me. Games companies need to create the diversity in the game itself without the player having to fucking do so. These are the words from her own fucking mouth.
Yeah.
And she will talk about, I don't know if it's in this clip, but she'll talk about how she never wanted gamers to know about Sweet Baby Inc.
Yeah, I bet
she just wanted the game companies to know about. I believe. Do you know, Kim? We are 100% on the same page there.
That's what
I guarantee you did not want the fucking eye of the gamer, because when you got the eye of the gamer, it exposed exactly what you were doing within these fucking companies.
And others like you. For sure.
And others like, Black Girl Gamers, all of these other
Gamer
companies.
Gamer, G-A-Y-M-E-R.
Gamers.
Yeah.
I want to know, I've got a question, though, before we carry on with this. How does you hire a narrative company, right? You hire them, right? So why did Sweet Baby Inc. offer the developers of Wukong $7 million to diversify the game?
Don't have an answer.
How does a company that you are meant to hire offer you substantial amount of money, $7 million, to diversify your game? That isn't how fucking business works with a narrative development company. That there is an agenda right fucking there. That is an agenda. That is a propaganda agenda. That is a funded agenda. Where did that $7 million going to come from? Is that coming from Sweet Baby Inc.? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Sweet Baby Inc. are the facilitators, but where's that $7 million coming from to diversify your game? And why are you even doing it? It doesn't. So that's got to come from where? Is that BlackRock? Is that Vanguard? Is that Canadian government? Is that, Canadian government funded by the fucking taxpayer? And it's so funny that the game itself was predominantly funded by the Chinese fucking Communist Party, Wukong. So you've got actual communists turning down champagne socialists. Welcome to real communism in action, sweetheart.
But let's hear her out. Let's hear out Kim Belair and her explanation for, I guess, Sweet Baby Eek's involvement in these games.
Of putting pride flags into Spider-Man's New York, which, again, so good. Love to see them, but we were not responsible for them. But suddenly we were being told that we were, funded by BlackRock, and that actually we weren't a narrative development company. We were a DEI company, some kind of vaguely defined censor, and that we were here to use all of the power we had amassed.
Kim, it was on your fucking website.
We read it, Kim.
It was on your fucking website.
We have
on the
receipt.
front page.
I really hope that she's not trying to
gaslight.
That's what she is doing, but it's almost like she's reversing. It's like, don't believe your lying eyes. That never happened. But we saw it. We saw it. You can't just erase history like that. We saw it. That you were focusing on the DIE. That was on your fucking all the word, all the word. Remember when we went through it and it had all the buzz terms for there: diversity, inclusivity, equity. These terms were there.
Yes, DI I think was even on there.
It was there. We were those videos are live. Also, our show, if you guys want to go check that out, we're not making this shit up. I have clips on the channel as well as the full episode for sure of us going through it.
Yes, we've got the streams that we've got it, the videos where we pull up the website. We look exactly at what they're saying. DEI was up on that site.
I don't. Again, let her continue.
It's gaslighting.
Yeah.
Absolute gaslighting.
Go woke. And obviously that's a very baffling understanding of what work for hire is. I'm not sure how they imagine we did it or how the contracts would be drawn up for it, but it kind of didn't matter because it just kept evolving and spinning out of control, and suddenly the conspiracy was just alive. They were finding photos of us.
Are any of our thumbnails there? If we didn't make this ass, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh god, yeah, I'm gonna be fucking annoyed if I am not on there.
I don't see it, bro. That
Get
looks like that was Ryan.
Get Gold out of the way. Get him out of the fucking way. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I don't think we made it. I don't think we made it. I'm looking at. I don't think we made it, bros. Fuck.
This is the most upset I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, we didn't make it. Gundam's there.
I need to try harder. We need to try harder. We need to try harder.
Fuck, dude. We didn't make it.
I know. It's the rate. Do you know why?
Racism. Yeah,
Racist.
We'll call it that.
Racism. Kim Belair, racist.
Confirmed.
Sometimes our families or our contractors, they were doxing me and other members of the team. Anyone calling these attacks out as doxing was accused of doxing themselves or lashing out. That's me. I'm the CEO. I have issues. But yeah, this went on for weeks and then months. At its peak, which was somewhere around February, March of this year, we were getting something like 300 emails a day.
Hold on.
Admittedly, some of those are going to be.
I don't recall any doxing whatsoever.
Me either. I would love to see the receipts. Obviously, that's not anything. Nobody supports that whack ass shit, right? Nobody supports that. But I'm willing to be wrong on that. I have not seen any evidence that people were doxing you. Had no idea. That's the first I've heard of that. Is her saying that.
What I do know is that Chris Kindred was calling for the deplatforming of YouTube channels.
And apparently he's formerly Sweet Baby Inc. now, though, isn't he?
Formerly,
Yes,
yeah. He's now unfortunately been fired.
Yeah,
from the company. Maybe because if it wasn't for Chris Kindred doing shit like that, the spotlight wouldn't have been shone so fucking heavily upon the company. But when you start calling for deplatforming, guess what? You're gonna start pissing people off.
Yep.
And they're gonna go, right, if you want to deplatform, then it's time for us to fight back. And there we go. Oh wow.
Yep. Unfortunate. Let's
founded in here. I got a snippet that I got from a video.
Okay.
It's founded in 2018. Sweet Baby Inc. is a narrative development and consultation studio based in Montreal and working around the globe. Our mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry. We aim to make games more engaging, fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive for everyone.
So that's two. We got diversity and inclusion right there.
Diversity and inclusion!
And that was directly on your site, bro. We read it live.
Front page!
It was on the front page. So what the fuck are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Like we just made the shit up, Kim.
Right. Okay. Here. Hold on. Here. If I just share this for a second with you.
Yeah. Do you think?
We'll jump back to here. So this is Sweet Baby Inc. Saga Anderson. Okay. And by the way, and that's Saga Anderson from the live action teaser for Alan Wake 2 coming.
Mm-hmm.
Can you spot any difference between the characters?
Uncanny, actually, as I can't. Uncanny. Never seen it. I mean, they got it perfect. Nailed it.
Nailed it, eh? Oh, by the way, when I did this video, which was, I think, October of last year. October the 30th of last year. That video is nearly a year old now, when there wasn't really that much chatter around Sweet Baby Inc. When I put that video out, I was blocked on social media by Kim Belair within 24 hours.
Interesting.
I know, huh?
Funny how that works.
Yeah, odd, eh? In actual fact, I was banned. I was actually blocked before that video because I think I discussed it on an afternoon tea. Oh no, I was blocked when I did the tweet where I was mocking the fucking writing of some stuff in Alan Wake 2, and then Kim Belair blocked me. So I would say essentially taking credit for that piece of narrative genius.
Narrative genius. Let's hear out some more.
Yeah.
Spam or bots or whatever it is, but they were often accompanied by death threats, threats to our family.
Show us!
Show us! Like, hello, let me see.
We did have one bomb threat made to the.
I would think that they would at least show that on the screen there.
Yes.
And you showed all the thumbnails and shit. Like I said, I'm willing to be wrong on it. Because that shit's corny. People threatening motherfuckers physical violence like over that shit that's corny as fuck and shouldn't be done. I have not seen any evidence that that's a thing. I have not. And I'm being genuine when I say that.
Look what's on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Plenty of people discussing Sweet Baby Inc. Right? What is it up on there? Any evidence of what she just mentioned?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, again, willing to be wrong. Hadn't seen it.
I would think they would be more than happy, and they'd be very happy to parade that as the victim. Because remember, we're dealing with victim culture. They're the victim here. Look at her. Oh, poor Sweet Baby Inc. Poor Sweet Baby Inc. They're the victims here, but they don't want to show off any of the other stuff. It's surprising.
Contact us about, and at best, the nicest thing you would see in some of these spaces was that we were a punchline. But any defenders were really, really shouted down quite quickly. And in moments when this movement couldn't dig up like another reason to attack us, they would just kind of move on to other groups who they perceived to be like us. All while, doing the work of erasing all of those people's and our actual jobs and interest and papering over it with kind of, that just rallying cry of far-right supremacy.
Remember the by the way, the other companies that you're referring to are other companies which identify, you'd love that word, wouldn't you, Kim? That identifying as gaming narrative companies, right? Like Black Girl Gamers. What did we see from one of the former, I think, employees of Sweet Baby Inc. that was doing her own company? I think it was Black Girl Gamers, where she said, we don't hire white people. We don't hire white people.
Yeah, we went over that. I can't remember which company that was. I can't remember
whichever
company. I remember us going
was.
through it. I can't remember. I remember us going through it. I just don't remember what company it was.
Yeah, but they don't hire white people because apparently white people cause potentially a difference of opinion and a toxic environment or something. So
yeah, it was something like that.
Something, the only way that we could do it is to hire people exactly like me that look like me, think like me. It's just like, wow. And you don't think that's warranting of any kind of scrutiny whatsoever, particularly when you're involving yourself in the development of games?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
DEI. And as ridiculous and stupid as it all was, I actually was not prepared for the escalation of it when noted buffoon and Twitter CEO Elon Musk decided that he would chime in with his
She called Elon Musk a fucking notable buffoon. That's literal Rocket Man. All right, man.
Rocket Man bad.
Yeah, Rocket Man bad.
Yeah.
Rocket Man bad. So this is the part that the last bit that I do want to go over here because she does go over, like, obviously when Elon tweeted this, pretty big deal.
Cool thoughts. Yeah, very cool, very good thoughts in there. Lots to think about. So this was hard the whole time. Like, not since the beginning, it wasn't great, but we were receiving countless emails, all this constant hate. It was targeted enough to feel disconcerting, even when it was kind of silly, and it was also kind of drowning out the support. But when Elon chimed in, it really made me realize the scale of it, because the richest man in the world was suddenly turning like the Eye of Sauron onto 16 people trying to make a pretty modest living in the industry.
No, it wasn't about you making a living. Let me actually speak on that first, because that's not what you do, right? It's not like you're providing a service that was necessary, that would benefit the, like, more or less for the greater good, if you believe that to be a thing of the games industry. No, this was a self-fulfilling thing. This was something for you, your ideology that you wanted to make sure was injected into these fucking games, and it was on your website, and those were the things you advocated had not shit to do with actually making a solid game. It had everything to do. You led with it, Kim. This isn't some shit that we pulled out our ass. You led with it. You led with DIE. You led with that shit, and that was your focus. That was what you wanted to make sure was embedded in these companies as far as your specific fucking contributions. Those were your contributions. That's what you wanted to do, Kim. This isn't me making it up. This isn't me pulling it out of my ass. That was what you wanted your contribution to be to this industry. So it was not about making a modest living, because if it was about that, then you would be leading with things that were more merit-based, right? So let's assume that you want it to be. Again, what I think the demand for that may be irrelevant there, but let's say that it was a legitimate thing that was necessary and people needed assistance in building out stories for their games. You wouldn't be focusing on the other shit. It would just be a flat, I don't know, narrative development consultation company, right? But that's not what you were. You were not that. You specifically focused on things that people are fucking sick of, number one. But more importantly, it doesn't help the game. None of that shit, whether it's more diverse or inclusive, does not make the game better. It does not. So you're not caring about, it's not about, I'm sick of the shit, like, because she's making it seem like, well, it was about us, and we're just trying to make a modest living. No, you're trying to inject ideology, and it backfired. That's what this was. Had nothing to do with you trying to make an honest living, because if you were trying to make an honest living, you're not focusing on those things, period.
I got a question for you, Eric.
Yeah.
If this is 16 people trying to make a modest living, how are they offering $7 million to developers of Wukong?
I'm assuming that had to do with some fake I don't know if it was a tax incentive because she's based out of fucking Canada, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that there was some, and that government's fucked, right? So I'm assuming that there is some sort of incentive tied to their injecting of diverse bullshit, and there was going to be a kickback for Wukong, or as far as the developers. That's what I'm assuming, right? That's what that was going to be, because that shit does exist. I think it exists in America as well, where you have these like tax grants and incentives that are tied to the makeup of your company or the makeup of what it is that you're providing to the market, right? It's all bullshit, right? And it shouldn't be there, right? It's quite literally government meddling with the market. But I'm assuming that's what that was, right? As far as what she's meaning, or what the company is meaning of a kickback. Because unless Kim's rich herself, we got to speculate that she's giving it cash, and where that money is coming from is obviously another bit of speculation that we have to do, because I don't fucking know. But that's my assumption. That's my educated guess. That's specifically what she's referencing, or what the company is referencing, if that story is to be true, of them basically being able to get, I can't remember the exact amount that it was USD, but it was significant, whatever it was, of a kickback that they were going to be able to get if they worked with, if they allowed their presence to be felt with.
Well, we know with Robin in the Hood that the Canadian government was funding that, aka the Canadian taxpayer was funding partially that as well. So I could easily see there being Canadian government
absolutely
money in Sweet Baby Inc. Modest Living. Dude, did you see? You saw their client list?
Yeah, right? they're working with the big dogs.
Exactly, they ain't working with no fucking small developing teams here. There's no modest. The way that she tries to play it all down makes me immediately feel that she's being more and more disingenuous as she goes on. You were quite happy to play the victim in terms of the internet videos. You didn't in any capacity show any death threats. You don't have to show who they're from. You didn't in any capacity show anything about the alleged bomb threat that you claim was levied against you. You claim to make a modest living. 16 people. So we're just a small company, 16 people trying to make a modest living by dealing with the biggest companies in the gaming industry, and also offering Wukong developers $7 million. What, as Judge Judy would say, don't piss on me and tell me it's raining.
Yeah.
Because that's what she's doing here right now.
I'm gonna let her finish her thought real quick.
Yeah.
Just to be fair.
I'm sure it's good.
Yeah.
Love, and he was arguing for our collapse. And this meant that, it was when this happened and when it got bigger than this, you can tell I got it early as a screenshot. But it made us realize that this was huge. We were being attacked in a massive and coordinated campaign of harassment, and that sucks. But it does get me closer to the question of what happens when you get harassed. So first of all, just as a spoiler, like what happens when you get harassed is it sucks. I can't recommend it. If I had to rate the experience, like 1.5 stars, probably. It's not the best. But more specifically, what happened during all of this, if I can kind of dig down into this review, is, we lost our voice. And we didn't just lose our voice as a collective, we lost our voices individually, because people on our team were either hounded off of social media, or they get attacked so consistently that it just becomes frustrating to use. It's not enjoyable to hop on anywhere and get that wave of hate. So within Sweet Baby, beyond what we do for work, there are authors, there are comic book creators, there are TTRPG creators, game designers, people who have other work that they want to share with the
fucking facet of those genres as well.
Yeah. So thanks for letting us know where all the imprint is, for sure.
Yeah.
world that they should be allowed to share with the world. But just for existing within our company, just for working on the games that they do, they were attacked. Even contractors, people who literally worked with us for like, a spot check, a week or a couple months. But there was really, really nothing we could do. And as silly as it is, and as little as I miss the current Twitter, as little as I regret leaving it, the loss of like frivolity and, frankly, like dumb bullshit is actually a little soupçon of dehumanization. Because I would love to post a picture of my latte or my dogs without people going like, oh, I guess coffee is woke now. And hey, that dog is pretty gay. But
all right, see that's a straw man.
Yeah, straw manning. Yeah, straw man.
Top to bottom, like that's not anything that anybody would fucking say, right? Like that I know she's smart enough to fucking know that, right? But as opposed to actually addressing the problem, right? That's actually there objectively. Again, not something that's created out of thin air. I'm not talking about fake narratives, right? I'm talking about what you specifically do and your contribution to the gaming industry as far as what you provide as a service. Folks take exception to, right? It has nothing to do with your dogs being gay, bro. So they got
caught. They got caught, and the way that they got caught, Eric, is because they were vocal.
Yeah.
That's how they got caught. They didn't get caught because somebody was just like, I found this secret, this Sweet Baby Ink website. No, they got caught because of videos like the 2019 Gamer Developer Conference one, where you essentially laid out your whole remit of what you were there to do. And because you got bold, because you thought you were safe within the industry to do that, because this was the way that the Western gaming industry had now turned, you didn't think there was going to be any clapback when people started to realize it was you, Kim. You did this to yourself. You went out there and you told the world what your company was there to do. To inclusive and diversify the gaming industry. And then you told everyone exactly that you wanted more people that looked like you, represented you. Stop giving your audience what they want. Stop giving them choices. Don't let character creation screens and stuff like that direct how they put themselves in the games. You need to change that. You need to diversify this. We'll come onto this game. What did we do? We blackly blacked, as you would say. Yep. The fucking Nordic gods, the Scandinavian gods. What did we do? We came onto Alan Woke, and lo and behold, Saga Anderson, suddenly race change. What do we do when you see us in all these companies? What do you tend to find? Just superficial fucking race change characters. And narratively, shit. Narratively, shit.
Yeah, look, Kim, we're not gonna sit over and watch it. You guys can go watch that. It's titled Kim Belair, Sweet Baby Inc.
This is what got me blocked from Kim. This is what got me blocked. The tweet that got me blocked from Kim. Alan Wake 2 in a nutshell. You are strong, you are successful, you are confident. The worst fucking dog shit writing and characterization I've seen in a long time in a game. Fucking pathetic. I'm not adding anyone into that, So she's probably doing searches for Alan Wake 2 in seeing the response. I was blocked within 24 hours of that tweet. Within 24 hours of that tweet. So I think she kind of gave herself away.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. All right. Let's we're gonna get into some of these super chats, guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Like I said, you can go watch that full video if you want. She just kind of goes on a tangent about dealing with harassment and all that. And like I said, there aren't really any. I don't want to say aren't really. There are zero receipts that are ever provided. But there was a bit. Unfortunately, we didn't get to this part. Right here, where is it at? I think
more of my approach here, and the approach that we take as a company. I genuinely believe that representation is not censorship; it is innovation.
So I wish we would have got to that part right there. We don't have the time for today's show. But yeah, she explicitly states representation is innovation. So it's there is no, if you think that she gets a sense of damn, like, I don't want to say regret, like it's more like of, okay, I probably played my cards wrong here. She doesn't. If you go actually watch the full video, there's a triple quadruple, quintuple down of like what she thinks she's providing as far as a service to this industry. So yeah, shout out Sweet Baby, I guess. Stephen DeLeon, 6 months, says, well, if it isn't Black Stan Lee, Black Walt Disney, Black Geriatric, how's the hip? I'm doing good. I'm moving around. I can walking around without my crutch, even the one crutch. So yeah, next time I cross you over, it'll be your ankles that get replaced. You'll never be able to do that. That's for sure. Because once I get back 100%, it's back to fadeaway jump shots. Nobody's stopping me either. Graph Webb with a 2 says, for fuck's sakes, as he always says, hashtag cancel Disney Plus. I don't have it, buddy. Creative WM Personal with the 27 months. The big two are on borrowed time. In about 40 or so years, all the major comic book characters will be in public domain and anyone can use them. Will you have Chuck writing Batman for the Rippaverse in the 2035? I don't know about for the Rippaverse. I don't know if that will ever make sense. I don't know about using like just straight up characters like that. Is anything that I plan to do at least for the Rippaverse? Just still trying to come up with these more or less more like original stories is kind of our goal here, and we want to keep that up regardless of what comes up on public domain. That's just our approach. Stephen DeLeon 5 says, I didn't forget about you, Mr. Face Baby Heels. My favorite tea drinking wanker from Brighton. Good day to you, sir. Hashtag shout out West Texas. The Fiddle Night Hour finds the Japanese companies don't like firing people, so they can maintain never fired anyone reputation. That's interesting. It's such a interesting way to go about it. Stephen DeLeon says, Rip, get ads on Monday Mario Kart stream. I'm sure he'll do well since y'all are trash at the game. Hashtag shout out West Texas. You cannot beat me in fucking Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or whatever the fuck it's called. Philip Poole with a 5. I have a comic book story, 98% written, and trying to draw it, but I really suck. I don't have the cash to pay an artist and need help. Any advice? Well, you're gonna have to work to save the money to get the cash to do it. It's just the bottom line. There's no way around that at all. If you have a concept that you want to see through, it's gonna take investment in it. You're gonna have to invest in yourself. So maybe work some overtime. Maybe again, save up some money. And then try to pay out one of these artists that are out there that at least are in your budget range to see it through. And there's plenty of them out there that are hungry and would love to jump on some projects, but it's not going to be anything that it's not. There's no free way to do it, if that makes sense. Like you're gonna have to invest as anybody would, but don't look at that like it's a downer, right? It's just an expectation. Like if you're going to enter that industry, you're going to have to find a way to fund it. And yeah, there's that. Now, if you want to go the crowdfunding route, that is, but even then, like you're going to have to pay some money to show people what the concept is. So if you're doing examples of pages and stuff like that, you're still going to have to pay that artist to do that. So before y'all complete the project. So either way, it's gonna cost bread. So yeah. Kelly with a 10 says, you mean we should stop supporting stuff we identify with and enjoy for stuff we are told to identify with and enjoy? So it explains that movie success, TMSO, MN's indie game will live forever. Yeah. Transformers fan 4 months. Appreciate that. Says, hey, you too. As you should watch Transformers Prime. We got a 2 from DB. Says, for the 5th time, Eric, will you please stop filling? I'm trying. Doing my best.
Impossible.
Angry Minka with a 2 says, Jogafalia, but needed Elton John. Jesus Christ, man. Appreciate that.
Shout out Elton John.
Shout out, man. And Tim Sheridan, man. Kelly with another 2 says, Japan should know more about Japan and France. Taxes are a crime with a $3.
Yes, but
appreciate that.
Ideology seems to be trumping all of that right now.
Yeah. Enrico with a becoming a YouTube member. Shout out. Thank you. We got Jokes Disciple with a 2 says, get Rippaverse crazy room set up for bad employees. That'd be crazy. That would create even more problems. DB says, "As would you F Kim and your wife Anita for a meal?" Or what about the 7 meal? I guess that was being offered. Nah, I don't think I has to touch that with a 10-foot pole. That's gonna create even more problems. You just what's they all saying? You don't put your stuff in crazy, bro. So,
Never stick your dick in crazy.
Yeah, man. Having nobody, the hate monger with a 2 says Kim's damage control gets IGN 10. Appreciate that. We got Joker's aside with a 2 says hi Kim and put her in the Rippaverse crazy room. We don't have one of those. But no, I wouldn't. Nah, those are not services that I would for sure need. Kohauser with a 5 says anything in Montreal is directly linked to the Trudeau government, as Justin's riding that he represents is in Montreal. Called Pino. Says feel bad for our race hustling extortion.
I know, right?
Trump.
Yeah. It's in a nutshell. Yeah.
Azra Israel, appreciate that. Becoming a member as well as Kohaku. 10 months. Thank you. You guys hear about Netflix's Tomb Raider? I don't know much about it.
Yeah. I'm not even touching it. Not even touching it.
Still looking for history with a 5 says I can't wait for my friend Toby to get his ISOM statue. Says I know I'm taking a chance him seeing this. So grateful to all his help. Be blessed, Eric and As. Well, I appreciate that. Appreciate the support, by the way. And I'm gonna love that Iron Studios ISOM statue. Having nobody, the hate monger with a 2 says, if you could say one comic IP, what would be probably Batman. That's pretty easy one for. I know both of us are huge fans, so that's probably an easy one for us. And that is, I think, gonna wrap it up for the super chats. Josh Kelsey, as always.
The other side. Have you checked the other side? Just in case.
Just in case, let me do that. We got a 20 from Josh Kelsey, as always, and he says absolutely nothing. I'm going to check the other side right now. Give me a second. And then, like I said, guys, as far as that, Kimberly, there's some nuggets in there. And by nuggets, I'm meaning like it's interesting to see someone just not even really. I can't even say that she doesn't understand what happened and why.
No, she knows exactly what's going on.
She knows for sure. It's just talking around it.
Yeah, she's just talking bollocks.
Yeah,
like I think that super chat was just perfect. Can you please not highlight our fucking extortion racket going on in the gaming industry right now, so we can just get on with doing it?
And it looks like we are clear on the opposite side, the other side as well, Direct Dono. So appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much. And that is going to wrap it up there. As what you got this upcoming week?
Tomorrow, 6 p.m. UK time, midday Central. 3PO and I are going to be geeking out. We're going to be talking Transformers.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to be doing some G1 Transformers talk. We're going to be talking about the current comic from Skydance and probably some other Transformers related conversation. But that's going to be tomorrow, 6 p.m. UK time, midday Central. So don't miss out on that. Sunday afternoon tea with Az, and also Sunday fun day.
There you go. I don't know what my streaming schedule is going to be this upcoming week. I don't think I might be streaming at all, to be completely honest, because I got a lot of stuff to do preparing. Obviously, next week we have we'll be at SpaceCon, so we're preparing ourselves for that. And I just got some other stuff that we're going to be working on preparing for. We got Blood Ruth on the way, so it's a lot of stuff that I got to do to make sure that we're ready to go. But you guys will know soon as I do, as far as what my streaming schedule is going to look like, because I got a lot to do. But that's going to wrap it up for today's show. I appreciate y'all. We'll be on as a channel next week, same time. I will probably be, it's perfect. It lines up perfect because I'll probably be doing the show out of like an hotel, but it'll work out because, I have the setup there, so we'll be good to go. But yes, it'll be on his channel next week, as like I say, we have SpaceCon next week, so that'll be fun. Come out if you're in San Antonio, by the way, we'll be there. But that's gonna wrap it up. Appreciate that. 5 David Nelson says, can we get an updated Ripper Send video? Well, we have we got a campaign to launch, Agamatic Chronicles Green, so let us get that. That'll be a big update there. So we'll keep you guys posted with that. Appreciate that. But yes, we're gonna get out of here. We'll see you guys next time. We appreciate the support. See you next week. Be easy.